Supreme Court has agreed to consider a challenge to the federal bump stock ban. Justices will hear arguments early next year over regulation put in place by the Justice Department after a mass shooting in Las Vegas in 2017. Federal appeals courts have been split on the legality of that ban. The justices say they'll review the Biden administration's appeal of a ruling by the Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans that invalidated that ban.
Is this the beginning of the end? Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like my channel, like my content, and what I do here, you can support me with the link. Everything is appreciated. And we got to talk about this. This is huge news. The Supreme Court has agreed to hear the challenge to the bump stock ban. What makes this huge, obviously, is going to set the foundation for everything else coming up the line. Now, this is going to be brief, but there are two other cases that the Supreme Court is going to hear. One is National Rifle Association versus Volo, where they're accusing one of Cuomo's lieutenants of basically suppressing their free speech, which is important, and also they're going to hear another case of domestic abusers or accused domestic abusers. Are they basically stripped of their Second Amendment rights? But the big one, obviously, for us is going to be this bump stock ban, because that is going to set the foundation for everything else coming forward. Now, there have been arguments back and forth. There have been different district courts who have made different decisions. The Fifth Circuit basically stating a semi-automatic rifle with a non-mechanical device does not make a machine gun under the definition of the National Firearms Act and the Gun Control Act. And then, of course, other courts upheld it, saying that this is legitimate. Now, jump over here real quick, and at the crutch of the argument, is not necessarily whether or not bump stocks are legal, illegal, make machine guns or don't make machine guns. Of course, that's part of the wording, but at its core is, can the ATF make rulings? Because remember, when Trump, I consider this one of Trump's failures as president, because nobody in Congress made a law or revised the law to include language that would then include bump stocks. They just basically took the existing law and the ATF made a ruling based on that. And we've heard that story before, because that then leads back to the arm brace rule and the 80% receiver rule. They just basically made rulings. Nobody in Congress made any laws concerning these items. And this is the same thing here. And this is the crutch of the argument. Now, of course, the definition of machine gun is going to be argued in this case, but at its core, Congress never gave ATF the power to rewrite federal crime statutes. They just passed a ruling. So this is going to be huge because, once again, specifically and more importantly, the arm brace rule, which turned probably thousands of rifles into short barrel rifles or items that are under the National Firearms Act. So we got to watch this ruling very carefully. If we get a positive ruling, it's going to set the stage for everything else coming up. Now, they're saying that they're not going to hear this case until possibly June of next year, they're saying. But this is going to set the standard for everything else coming up. Now, I'm not sure where we are with these arm brace rules. I know they're in the district court in one jurisdiction, and they're all a few of them going on. But this gets overturned here at the Supreme Court. Everything else coming up behind it is going to get overturned. Now, what happens in the meantime, I am sure, as I told you many, many times, while these cases are making their way through the courts, certain states are going to keep making more and more onerous and restrictive gun laws. And we're seeing them coming out the woodwork, one after the other, because they're trying to anticipate and cut off rulings that go against their narrative. So we're fortunately going to have to tolerate that. As you know, in California, they just passed a ammo and gun tax in the state, while at the same time, a judge in that state has told them that their magazine capacity ban and assault weapons ban are unconstitutional. It's basically a nasty chess game that's going on right now. But this is going to set stage for a lot of stuff coming forward. Specifically, I'm using this case in reference to the arm brace ruling. If this gets overturned, the arm brace rules are going to get overturned. And that's going to be incredibly positive news for certain states. Like, unfortunately, Connecticut has its own law, and that law will have to be taken through the courts and overturned. Now, Grant versus Lamont does include other weapons, firearms that have arm braces. So we'll see what happens going forward. But this is just news to get out there. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.